NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. You can check it out in the Audacy app, wherever you get your podcasts. Baldy, thanks for joining us, my friend.
Good afternoon, Spike. Good to be with you, man. Thanks.
So just, I guess, big picture, overall thoughts. How do you think the Eagles did over the weekend in the draft?
I think they did well. I mean, they got a lot of selections. They drafted, we haven't seen a linebacker drafted in the first round since 1979. Says something about the power that Vic Fangio has over there and the value of the player. They traded up to make sure that they got him, and nobody jumped in front of him, Jihad Campbell. But Kuba, they showed last year that they could integrate rookies, with talent right into the lineup and get immediate results. I think they could do the same thing here. And then, look, they lost a couple of defensive linemen, and to go get Ty Robinson, who's just a beast inside, I think he's better than Milton Williams. So, I think they did well. They got 3 offensive linemen that, Stoutland could work with. And they got a local kid, a quarterback that I think has played well at 2 stops at both Ohio State and Notre Dame. So I think the Eagles did good. Obviously they're a very talented team, and so you're not going to get a whole lot of guys that can contribute right away. There are not a lot of holes, but I think some of the guys they took can contribute right away.
We'll get to Jihad Campbell in a second. You think Ty Robinson's better than Milton Williams?
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, he's bigger, he's stronger. Milton Williams is a good player. He didn't start. He filled in because Jordan Davis doesn't play a lot of snaps. But I think Ty Robinson is a beast. And I know Matt Rule loved him at Nebraska. He's bigger than Milton Williams. I think he's going to be a good player for him. He's going to rotate right away. Whether he can become the pass rusher that Milton became, we'll wait and see, because everybody has to learn pass rush. Nobody comes in and finished product. But he's got everything it takes to be a good one.
No, I agree, Baldy. He has some traits on him, man. You put him next to Jalen Carter, that could be pretty scary. Big man that can move, but really the most athletic and probably the best athlete of the D tackles in the draft.
I was there. I was at the combine when he ran, when the whole defensive lineman. We knew it was going to be a loaded defensive line draft.
Yeah,
30 defensive tackles got taken, and so it's just a question of what did you want. But for a guy that's 290 plus on a big thick frame, like he's running in the 4.9s, that's the guy that can run, and he plays with great effort. He understands his job is to, stop the run, affect the quarterback, and get to the football. He did all those things at Nebraska. Mm-hmm. It showed up constantly. Just a relentless motor on a guy with a big body that played in a good conference, went against good competition, and I thought it showed up constantly. But he caught my eye at the combine. To be honest with you, the way that he competed and some of the things that he did there.
When you look at Jihad, right, and what he does as a player, what do you think he needs to get better at the NFL level? We're talking about him being a potential edge rusher. You're a former offensive lineman. What are some of the things you think he needs to improve upon to be a good edge rusher in the NFL?
Well, it starts with first step quickness. He's got that. You can't win the 100-meter dash if you don't have a great first start and a great first step. He's got a good first step. I don't think he's a polished pass rusher. He kind of dipped and ripped and ghosted people because of his takeoff. That's not going to happen. He's going to have to develop pass rush if you're going to use him in that role. We've seen Nolan Smith develop, so he's not as fast as Nolan Smith, but he certainly has size to his advantage. He's a pump kid, he's gained a lot of weight here over the last 2 years, to really play the linebacker spot. So, but, from just a linebacker standpoint, better than anybody. Just what's going on behind you in this passing game of the NFL? Who's the crossers? Who's the bootleg? Who's coming?
Yeah.
Who's, what's going on behind you without looking? How you read route combinations as you drop it in coverage? Because most guys, outside of the Fred Taylors and Roquans, they don't get good depth in their drops in the passing game to take things away and to affect the passing game. So those are things that you don't really have. I've seen him do it at Alabama. I'm not saying he can't. He's got an interception off a good drop, but last year. But I think that the passing game is always something. And then how you match up with running backs and the guys that you have to match up with, and then the tight ends that you have to cover when you're in man coverage.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Coach Fangio uses him on that side of the football, because you mentioned a lot of things there that he may be asked to do that not a lot of linebackers can do. Give you a little bit in the rushing the passer game, and then also affect the passing game by either man coverage or dropping into coverage. You think he has that ability to be an all-around player?
I do. I thought he was the best linebacker in the draft. And I'm not saying that just because I'm on your show right now. I thought he was the best linebacker. I watched him at that combine. I watched him get ready to compete for all the different drills that he did. Like, you can just tell that he is a meticulous kid. And he's a local kid and all that stuff. That's good. But, he looks meticulous in how he goes about his business. And I think going about his business is really what separates him. I think he thinks like a pro. He's got big-time athletic ability. I mean, he can really run. I mean, he's faster than Zach Vaughn. We saw Zach Vaughn, get 150 tackles last year, but he's faster than Zach. Mm-hmm. We thought Zach had pass rush ability too. That's how he was used in New Orleans. And Vic said, well, we'll blitz him. And they did blitz him on occasion and rush him on occasion. But, he was a kid that was cross-trained at Wisconsin. And I feel like Jahad's been cross-trained too, but I think his natural position is off the ball inside linebacker.
Mm. Talking to our Audacy NFL insider, Brian Baldinger. Baldy, what did you think of the Shedeur Sanders slide into the 5th round?
When you're taken with the 144th pick, I mean, the league is basically telling you that you're a backup quarterback. Go prove us, show us that you're more than that. No, we've seen guys taken later in the, Kirk Cousins or Brock Purdy or Tom Brady. We've seen a few get drafted late and become star players. But it doesn't happen often. I don't know that with his arm that he is going to compete in that division in Cincinnati and Cleveland and Baltimore, when the weather turns nasty like it does. And can he throw through those conditions the way Lamar can, Joe Flacco did, Joe Burrow does, Ben Roethlisberger did? I mean, that's asking a lot out of a guy who doesn't have a great arm. Now, he might beat you with speed of decision-making and, his accuracy, which was it got better the deeper the ball was, but, he was the second quarterback drafted by him. I mean, they're basically telling him that compete for the backup spot right now.
Talking to Brian Baldinger. So, what was I going to ask about Shedeur? I had one. The rumor was that the Browns jumped and traded for that pick because they thought the Eagles were interested in taking him. Do you think the Eagles would have taken him, and do you think it would have been a mistake if they did?
Well, they took Kyle McCord, so they're going to, they're in the business of drafting quarterbacks and collecting quarterbacks and developing them. They just lost Kenny Pickett this year. He was a backup. We'll see what Tanner McKee becomes, but they have a strong history of drafting quarterbacks. Now, if they got wind of that and they decided to do it, okay, but why? You've already drafted Dylan Gabriel. You've already said that Dylan Gabriel, he was drafted 50 picks in front of Shedeur. You're already saying in a crowded quarterback room with Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett that Dylan Gabriel is a guy that we want to develop. Now you're going to jump in front of the Eagles, potentially jump in front and take Shedeur because maybe the Eagles take him? That doesn't really make sense. Now, it might be true, Spike. I'm not saying it's not true, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. None of it really makes a lot of sense. But, look, the Eagles, they took McCord. Maybe they would have taken Shedeur.
Well, I'll tell you, it would have been a different radio station. WIP we'd have been talking about different stuff for the last couple of days if they'd taken Shedeur Sanders. I can tell you that much. All right, Baldy. Well,
that's part of it, though.
Yeah.
Is Dylan Gabriel going to get a fair shot? Because the attention that Shedeur is going to get. Hopefully, Shedeur goes about his business here and learns the playbook and gets to meet his teammates and becomes a great, just the activity of becoming a pro. Hopefully, he does that.
Yeah.
The circus atmosphere. I was there when Manziel got drafted. It was a circus. So it's going to be a circus again. He's bringing it. That's not a reason not to take him. Believe me. Like, I want Shedeur to be successful. I want all these guys to be good. But it's going to be a crazy scenario up there in Cleveland right now.
Well, especially...
Well, it's a reason not to take him if the talent doesn't warrant it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes you wonder why they took him. I mean, there's the rumors out there that the owner wanted him to take him because, yeah, I mean, if you're the Browns and you think enough of Shedeur Sanders, you don't take Dylan Gabriel in the third round. Like,
probably sell a lot more Sanders jerseys than Gabriel jerseys.
Well, not to me. You know, I love Dylan Gabriel, but to most Cleveland fans, yeah, I think so. All right, Baldy, we appreciate your time as always, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. All right, guys. You bet.
There he is, Brian Baldinger, Audacy NFL Insider, host of the Best Football Show podcast, where you can get in the Audacy app or wherever you get your podcast.